Good evening, welcome. Good evening. My name is Obindako. I want to share with you today the, what I call the cultural challenges or cultural challenges to business success. Cultural challenges to business success. We hear from a lot of people who say that when you start a business in our country, you know, there are so many things that you have to endure as a business person if you want your business to succeed. And they run from, you know, a lot of factors are involved. The few things that I would want to focus on will be a typical, you know, like the people that we are saying that they are unemployed, that they should have a place to work. And we encourage them to go and look for job. Now the jobs are not that many. And so some of them would eventually will have to start some businesses on their own. Now there are challenges, not just the normal challenges that worldwide businesses go through, but there are also cultural challenges that are specific to us as a people, and which you as a business person must have it in mind that if you start and you start to meet some of these things, they should not put you down, and that there should be a way that you are going to learn how to how to handle this kind of situation. And so my name is Obindako. I share with you cultural challenges that you have to endure as a business person, and hopefully if you endure them well, you'll be able to build your business and build it well. And so um, there are many, and all of them you can overcome every one of them if you so desire. So let's go through them and see what we can we can discuss and what we can come out with. So my name, I said, is Obindak. So some of the things that you endure will be, because generally, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to have that big thinking, that kind of big thinking mindset. You have to have. We are not just saying that you don't have anything to do, therefore you want to just do something later for yourself. No, we are thinking of somebody who is turning his idea into a possible business, and which that business or that company can grow to become a big business. That is the kind of people that we are looking at. The kind of cultural challenges that you will meet will be that most people don't expect you to have a big idea. Most Ghanaians, excuse me to say, we don't want that much. We very much very happy with some little success, and we I may be wrong, but I think my observation is that largely Ghanaians are very much happy with little, and we any little success is that much big success to a lot of us. So if you start, most people don't expect you to become any big thing anyway. They think that you just have to have something little somewhere, work for yourself, and that for me is a challenge at that the culture is throwing at you. It's not only the culture, but the community and the kind of mindset that this kind of thing throws at us. It's not good for you to dare to start a business, and for you not to have the start thinking that this business must become a big business. So it's a cultural thinking. You have got to endure it, and endure it well. Sometimes you may not overcome the biases, but at least think through that is something that is possible that you can do. It's a big issue. I dare say that is a big issue that many of our people don't want us to think big. So if you start, and if you started the business, and let's say you had gone to school, that's another challenge, because they don't expect you who say that you have gone to school to start a business and to think that that business can become anything significant. They don't think like that. They think that you should become one of those things. You should become a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, a politician. Most people don't expect you to start a business and say that this business that I've started can become anything big, and they don't even think that the respect right from the beginning will not be there. Okay, the respect right from the beginning will not be there. You would struggle with a lot of that, all this because you happen to have gone to what they call school. And so for them, if you have gone to school, then you just have to find a way of working with your school. So if you say that you want to start a business, it's not the norm. Most people don't want you to think like that. They want you to say, I was trained as an engineer. So I have to find a big company and work in it as an engineer. So I have to go and maybe look for tractor and equipment, or Toyota, something. What is it? These people, Nestle. I have to find a way of working with Nestle. I have to find a way of working with all these companies because that is the normal expectation. They expect us to go and look for job, and I think that that is a cultural impediment. We desire, the group think is also there. A lot of us, the culture expect us not to be deviant. That's are you a Ghanaian? Ghanaians behave this way. Ghanaians think this way. And so if you think otherwise in terms of the culture, it's not good at all. It's something that they don't want you to think otherwise as to what the society at large thinks. So it's a cultural impediment that you have to find a way of enduring because the culture really is an employee driven culture. Okay, employee driven culture, especially among those who they say have been sent to school. So and the other thing is that we struggle largely with structural thinking in terms of business. And so let's say you open one company and you open another one, or maybe you have outlets. Usually most people that know you, whether friends, family, if they know that this is where the business is, even though you have multiple of them, they still would want you to they will still would want to come and see you at where you are. And so when they go to other, they say that you are not here. When they go here, they expect you to be there. When they go here, they expect you to be there. It's a general cultural thinking because we structural thinking is a bit tough for us. So if somebody wants to help you employ the son or the daughter or the friend, they would want to jump the queue. If you tell them to say that, oh please, we have a setup, so go and see this person, it's not something that most people would take lightly at all because it's you they know, so they want to come and see you. And so it's difficult for most entrepreneurs to have that kind of, because everybody knows you. They don't value the systems and the structures that you think you have set. They want to come directly with you. If you're dealing with, let's say, 10 people or 20 people, and every one of them, you told them that, okay, deal with this. This is your sessional head. No. If they go there and there's any problem, once they know you, they have access to you, they would want to call you directly. Even if there are 1,000 people, any of them has anything, they want to call you directly. We have a little appreciation for structure, and I think that is also a challenge for us because if you want to build a business, the business cannot be you. Your whole essence is that you have a vision, you have a product, you have a service that you want to build structure, and the structure has to be made. People are part of the structure, and if you have to do everything by yourself, then why are you trying to build a business? So the cultural thinking is that if you are there, then it has to be you. And so people don't like, if they know you, they don't like dealing with people that you put in any. So the person goes to your branch and they have your number. They would want to call you directly to say that, I was here. Where were you? I want to do this, and your people are saying, then they will call you. We find it tough. I don't know. We find it tough to say that, okay, this is the business that the person has created or made, or started, and this is the kind of authority that he has given to this person. So that once this person is in charge, I deal with that person directly. I don't have to bother that the man I know. No, anytime that anybody goes anywhere and they know you, they really want to let the fact that they know you be felt among the people. And so it's a challenge. It's a cultural challenge that we have got to deal with. And it's not easy at all to. And people would always want to have your services or your product discounted. They hardly think that you purchase the product and you are paying rent, you are paying electricity, you are paying salary, you are paying everything else. People don't. If you build, for instance, once they know you, they want a discounted rate. They want it reduced. Sometimes they want it even for free. It's a cultural thing. Very few people would want to be fair to pay you what is due you. Once they know you, they think that it has to be free because they know you. So it's something that you are going to deal with. And you don't want to welcome credit at all, because once you give credit, especially those who know you, may find it difficult to pay. They find it difficult to pay you. And even though your time is needed to build the business and your resources are needed to build the business, the society, the culture will still expect you to go to a lot of the funerals, a lot of the occasions, a lot of church, a lot of naming ceremony. Everybody still wants you to be present at what they do because they know you. Now, the business needs attention, and the society also needs that kind of attention. So there has to be a way that you have to uh, find to solve this, because your business will need a certain amount of time for it to succeed. So if you don't give that amount of time to the business, you will struggle to have it succeed. So the other thing is that not many people expect you to become successful hugely anyway. They think that you are just trying to do something for yourself and you're just trying to find a living. And so the expectation for you to become successful is not there. And most likely, the people who know you are always saying that, oh, if I'm office, oh, namatum. You know, they always add that, they entertain that fear that you will close or the business will collapse. That is largely the norm. So people who know you will always be looking for you not to be succeeding. So it's a cultural thing that we have to overcome. I don't know if you'll be able to overcome it, but let's see. So it's something that you have to advise yourself and to get over it. And the other thing will be people also would want to always, no matter how many years that you have been in the business, people would always want to talk to you as if you just started yesterday, because there's also that much little appreciation for skill development and personal development as well. Because the fact that you have been doing this business and you're becoming successful at something means that you have become a better person. Most people will still be talking to you as if you just started yesterday. And the other thing is that there will be a lot of unsolicited advice, even coming from people who don't know what they're talking about, because everybody thinks that they have to advise you. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. And they also the other thing is that they also heighten a sense of theft and sense of loss among your team. Okay, they heighten that. They don't want you to let people handle any position in the company, because don't forget that we don't think largely we don't think in terms of structure, and so the mistrust is very much high. We don't believe that the system can work. We don't believe that anybody at all can build anything and build systems around it and let people handle and be audited or be held accountable to the decisions or the outcome of the decisions that they make based on the position that you have given them. So these are some of the things that you would want to look at and think through as a business person, because they will come up and maybe you will have to deal with them every now and then. So cultural challenges to business success, the culture we don't expect. Maybe it's a country, maybe it's because our population is small, I don't know. But in terms of big thinking, we have a long way to go, because you're very much satisfied with that much little. And and we make a lot of noise with a little achievement, and it's coming from maybe the size of the country, I don't know, maybe the number of the population size, I don't know, but there is that. So and you have got to think big, you have got to think wild and crazy if you want to start anything by yourself, especially if you don't have that much experience and exposure. So and I think that's why most people that we send to school will not opt for business that much. And so if you look at our private sector, the percentages are very high for people with very little education. Okay, because based on the history that I've come to meet, I think that a large chunk of a business sector is run by people who we say have not gone to school that much. But if it's a business that has to grow and to become a big business, I think that there has to be a lot of thinking, a lot of structure, a lot of things. And so the people who we say have some little education should also be looking at that. But it's the culture, because when they send you to school, nobody expects you to ever dare to try to build anything. Your family will not expect you to do that. Your friends will not expect you to do that. They would expect you to go and look for a job. Even if you have even if you have tried for 5 years and you don't have that, you can't find that job, nobody cares. They want you to keep looking and hope, but hardly would anybody encourage you to start your own business, and perchance if that business will even ever succeed. So the desire to be accepted in a group, you think lightly. I say, it's a society. Do you hear the noise? Any little thing, everybody wants to give advice to the president on Facebook. That's the kind of culture that we have. So, in terms of organic thinking, it's tough. So you have to have a mind of your own if you want to become successful, or if you want to start a business and ever dare to become successful in it. You have to really have your own mind to question a lot of things and not necessarily agree with everything because the society is saying that you should agree. And there is not that much kind of acceptance for those of us who say we have gone to school and we want to start a business. There's not that much acceptance for us. Okay, they want you to practice the profession. So you train as a lawyer, as an accountant, as a doctor, as an engineer, as all those. They want you to practice like that. Don't ever think that you want to start a business and start from nothing, because there's not much respect for that. So if you have at the beginning, if you have that kind of innate desire to be for much respect, accolades, things like that, then you will find it tough to build a business. So because it's not in the culture, and so don't expect that from the culture. The culture, usually when your friends meet you, what do they ask you? Charlie, where do you work? And if you say that, oh no, I have a company that somebody started a company and you work there, the fact that you want to start a business is not part of the conversation at all. If the person should ask 10 questions, maybe the last one will be, okay, so you are trying to do something for yourself. Maybe that is not also a bad idea at all. Because that's not the culture. The culture is thinking that you should go and look for job at Talo, you should go and look for job at MTN, you should go to Anglo Gold Ashanti, and become a chief engineer, so things like that. That's what the culture respects. And I don't have anything, you know. I don't begrudge that. I don't think that it's what the culture expects. Now, if you want to start a business and possibly become successful, then you have to know that this is the kind of culture that I was born into, and this is the kind of expectation that this culture puts on me. So once I start a business, then I must think differently. I must size the culture. I know the kind of things, the tendencies that this culture will be bringing to me, so that I can handle it. Or other than that, you will not be able to hold your emotions and the kind of difficulties that are usual and normal with trying to build a business. So there are a lot of cultural impediments that you have to all businesses around the world, everywhere that you go, that entrepreneurship is tough, and even in economies that have been able to get a lot of things right, and a lot of a lot of studies done on entrepreneurship and what the entrepreneur must go through and what the business must go through, what help that businesses or the entrepreneurs need for them to stage the business and the stages and all that. In cultures and in countries who have gone through this, it's so tough, and it's still not in the large percentage of the population. Okay, so it's not like it's unique with us, but there are also some some cultural tendencies that are only the fact that it's Ghanaian, or maybe it's African, I don't know. And so culture, in terms of structural thinking, you cannot succeed if you're thinking of starting a business and doing it by yourself all alone. If that is your desire, no problem. But if you want to grow the business and for it to become big, you would have to go beyond just you thinking and thinking like it's my business, it's me. I started. No, you may start it by yourself. You may have the idea by yourself, but along the line, people will come in. And sometimes you may have to just split the shares with another person, or get a partner, or get a team around you. And that kind of beyond me thinking, okay? You have to go beyond just me. I've started my business, this is me. Than looking for talent, looking for expertise, looking for people with network to come on board and build the business. This is a difficult thought, not only in the culture, but also for you as a business person, for you as an entrepreneur, because the culture is conditioning you that it's you. So I started the business, it's me, it's mine, and nobody else is part of it, kind of thing. You will have to grow from that stage to where you start to see the value in people and what people bring to help the business to grow. And that could be a challenge for you if you grew up, or if you grew up in a culture like ours, which let you want, you don't want. They usually say that we are not good with partnership. Why? Anytime that you see people start business together, give them 3-4 years, there is fight. They are split. They split. Everybody goes anywhere, and sometimes the business never survives. Why? Because there is something that I bring on board. There is something that you also bring in on board. Okay, or you have brought on board. If I don't have that structural thinking, which is coming from the culture anyway. That's why when they go there, even if you have a business, let's say you have multiple shops, okay? Anytime that your father or your mother or your sister or your friends go to any of the shop, they want to see you there. They want to see you there. So the demand of the culture would put fear in you never to even expand the business, because they want to see you there. And some of the talks that will come will be, hey, Ghana dia Ujaima will be, they will sell it and take the money. That is what we have known. That is what we have known. I remember somebody told me the other time that this kind of business, if you open up that much and you start to spread, you will collapse. It's a cultural information. Is it true? You have to challenge it. It's not true. A business must grow. You just have to have a mindset to grow the business. You must think structurally. You must think that the idea, you generated it, you have grown it, but people would have to come in to grow the idea and to spread it. But your family, your friends, they will put that kind of fear in you that be careful, be careful. It's always be careful. It's always be careful. They come to the office and you're not there, and the general manager is there. Be careful. Be careful. Somebody is taking care of your finances. Be careful. It's always be careful. Why? Because of the history. Yes, the history. But do you want to grow or you want to stay small? If you want to stay small, then everything has to rest with you. But if you want to grow, then you have to take the chance and possibly start to look at how you can train people to look at where you're going and grow in ethics and grow in expertise and grow in how to think rightly. Okay, because you cannot grow without people, without thinking of structure. And yet the culture is trying to say that don't trust people. You have to be there. You have to do everything yourself. You have to be the one in charge. People should know that you are the one who started the business. So it's a cultural thinking. You cannot build anything with that kind of thinking. You cannot grow. And if a business is not growing, the fact is that if the business is not growing, it's not growing. It's dying. And you cannot become successful if you're not growing. If you start a business and let's say you are making 10,000 a month, and that 10,000 is constant for the next 5 years, the business is not growing. So you want the business to grow from 10,000 to 20,000 to 100,000 to 1,000,000, and that one you cannot do everything all alone. No, people would have to come in, and that will mean that you have to think beyond just yourself. So it's a cultural thing. They put it in us. We just have to fight it back, and hopefully we succeed with that. And people would want, when people come for your services, if they know you, they hardly think that the product that you're selling or the services that you are giving out, they have to pay fully for it. Almost every time anybody comes, once they know you, they have your telephone number, they want to call you for discount. They want to call you for discount. And generally people believe that all the prices must be, negotiated and be discounted. They don't think that you also have to make profit to let the business grow. So it's a cultural thinking. It's a cultural thinking that you have to find a way to deal with it. The fact that the sad thing is that when the same people go to companies that were started by foreigners, they don't ask for discount that readily. If you go to ShopRite or they go to Melcom, they just pay. They don't discount. But when they go to the market woman, they negotiate with them. Yet they are the ones who even need money. But when they go to the other areas, they don't negotiate at all. They just pay. It's a cultural thing. Once they know that you are part of them, they know you, they don't think that you deserve that kind of amount, that kind of without discounting it. If they want you to do anything for them, they still want to negotiate it down. So by the time you finish giving them the service or giving them the product, you have nothing. You have all your markups are gone. You have no profit, and and when the business doesn't work out, they will say that, but we told you. Meanwhile, they contributed to the business not succeeding. So look at credit as well. I think that don't entertain them, or even if he's your friend, don't entertain them. And there is also a much pressure on our time. So much pressure on our time. Pressure is on our time. They want you to come to all students group. They want you to come for the funeral in the village all the time. They want you to come to church every day. The pastor will preach and tell you that now that you started the business, you have become somebody, you have become something else. You have even forgotten about God. You don't want to come to church at all. Nowadays, they also want you to succeed in the business. It's a challenge because the business needs attention if it has to succeed. Now they are telling you to come for funeral, come for occasions, come for graduation, come for ceremony, everywhere they want you. Yet the business is at a stage that it needs a lot of attention or it will collapse. So most businesses collapse because the attention is divided. The resources are divided. You need the money to run the business, and then they want you to bring the money for the funeral. And when the money goes to the funeral, it never comes back. So there is a lot of cultural impediments that if you don't look at how we can work around it, succeeding in business will become very much difficult for most of us. So we are looking for Ghanaian businesses, and it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult, especially those with realistic revenue, realistic margins for growth, clean ones. It becomes that much difficult. But once you're aware of them, then maybe you'll be able to work around it. And when you start, don't expect anybody to think that you will succeed. Don't expect anybody to think that you succeed. And it's not what they think, it's what you think. Okay, so you have to have a big dream, a big vision, and you have to go to work and continue to work on the job, because a lot of them will think that after 3 years they will still be calling you. Do you want to go? Do you want to stop this thing you are doing and go and look for a job? That's what they will say. And it will be constant. They will always be telling you that, do you want to go somewhere and go and look for a job? Do you want to go somewhere and look for a job? That's what they will say. It's part of the culture, because we don't really believe that we are the ones to build the big businesses. We think that somebody else should bring the business for people to get jobs, and people will trivialize the growth that you're getting. They will even be telling, what do you know? Meanwhile, you have done that business for 10 years, and they still be asking you, what do you know? And people will try to advise you, even if they don't know what they are talking about. People will give you all kind of advice, moral advice, financial advice, relationship advice, all kind of advice, and yet they are not doing anything. They're giving all kind of advice. So, and I think this kind of advice, a lot of them, just to heighten your fear. And maybe sometimes by the time that you finish listening to them, you become so much hopeless and fearful. And so work on them. It's your choice, and it's your business. And I think if you look at them well, you'll be able to succeed. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Kwabena. Thank you for watching.